All right, this video is to make a more complicated version of the chess knight. So I have my image here, and I'm just going to start off with a box that that's kind of fully enclosed in this knight here. Just kind of going down, over and up in this space right here. So I do the thin part first, and then let go, and then go down. It doesn't have to be exact to start off with because we're going to move it around. I'm going to move it so that it's kind of half in front and half behind. That looks pretty good there. And then I'm going to go to the front view so I can see exactly where this thing is. And I'm going to kind of adjust that so that I want the bottom to be right lined up with that bottom edge, and the right side to kind of go along where that curvature is, and this should be inside of where that lip is. I'm going to modify. I'm going to increase the height. Let's move this up. Actually, let's move it up to the top. Oops, wrong thing. Yeah. Move it up to the top, and then I can increase the height. All right. All right, so that's about the size that I want this box to be. And so I'm going to add segments. I want 6. All right, push my F4. I want 6 with segments, and you'll kind of see why in a little bit. And then just get like let's see, yeah, 8 height segments should be enough. Okay, so I'm gonna add an edit poly, and I'm gonna go to vertex. So now basically what I'm going to do is just like when I was using the line and I was clicking, making points going all the way around, I'm gonna extend these vertices to those points going around. One key thing I want to make sure everybody understands right up front is that these vertices are on this side and they're also on the other side. And I want to move both of them together. If I move one at a time, then I'm going to have to go back and move the other ones later. So there's this ignore backfacing, which if you press that, it'll ignore the one that's behind it. But even if you don't press that, if you just click on it, I click on this point here and then I rotate around, I see that the one in front is selected and the one in back is not selected. If I click and hold and drag and make a window and highlight that point, I see that both points are selected. So that's kind of how I'm going to move my points, by clicking and dragging, creating a window to highlight that point. So I'm going to move this point over to the corner there. Move this point over to the opposite corner. And then I'm just going to kind of go along the edge here. That point should be good. Let's move that one over just a little bit. Actually, this point is not good. It's kind of hard to see where exactly that main is. I'll just highlight. I'm doing the rectangle highlight in order to get both the foreground and background point. And I move this one up to there. And I am kind of oops, I didn't mean to move both of those. I'm kind of skipping around with a little bit of a purpose because I don't know exactly how many of these I'm going to need for down here. So I'm doing these down here first so that I see how many I have left. All right, that worked out nicely. That one right there on the edge. Uh-oh. I didn't like that. Let's move that down a little bit. There we go. I want to get 2 points on this corner here. Get better curvature there. You know what? So I do have a few extra points. So I'm going to move this one down here just to get some better curvature. Because I can't fillet these like I can fillet the other ones. But we are going to smooth it out. We're going to find a way to smooth it out at the end. All right, that looks pretty good. So I've got the outside profile. But I also need to move these inner ones and kind of space them out, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the inner points and I'm going to pull them out further. So I'm going to kind of space these out. I'm going to try to space them out equally, kind of in between the length of each line. So the wider ones will be spaced out wider, the shorter ones will be spaced out a little bit shorter. But I'm going to try to follow the curvature of like a kind of a middle line, a center line in between the right edge and the left edge. That over there. Again, it takes a while because you want to highlight both points at the same time instead of just clicking on it, so that you can get the point on the back side as well. All right. Again, this is a bit of a tedious process, but if you want it to look nice, this is kind of what you need to do. Don't have to move these as much. And those are good. Those are good, I think. Let's move this one a little bit to the right. Got some space there. Actually, let's move this one a little bit to the right too. All right, so I've got some nice even distribution of these points. And again, I should be able to see that the other side is the same way. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the inner points and just pull them out. The reason why I wanted 6 columns here is because I can select the inner 4. Wait, do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I have 5 inner ones. I should have made it. I should have made it 5 segments, but it's not a big deal. So I'm going to select the inner 5 here. And so I'm going to try to, if I drag, try to highlight as many of these as I can at once. Hold Control, click and drag, highlight. I don't want any of the outer points. Hold Control. I still want to do the drag and highlight to that so I can get the other side. Oh no. I'm sorry, we need to do that over again. So we need to hit the ignore back facing now, because we don't want to select the points on the other side, because we're going to pull these points toward you. We're going to pull the other points away from you. All right. Click and drag. So it's on ignore back facing now. So now even though that I'm doing rectangular highlight, it won't select the points that are behind on the other side. So I can just click that point. I don't have to worry about dragging. All right, so I have all the points that are on the inside. And I'm going to come to the side here. And with all those points selected, I can just pull in the X direction, just pull it out. All right, and we have a specific amount. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select now we're going to ignore the second inside row of points and get the inner three. So of these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to leave the 2 outer ones out and just get 1, 2, 3 going all the way up. And we're going to pull those out even further. Holding control so that I can multiple select. All right, so I've got 3 going all the way up. I'm going to go back to the side, and I'm just going to pull those out a little bit further. So see how that looks. You see how I have the nice chestnut looking shape where it kind of gets fatter toward the middle and then gets thinner. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Hit G, turn that grid off. Hold control. All right, ignore back facing is still on. Don't want that point. All right. Go to the side. Let's click on right. No, that didn't work. I want to make sure I don't want to be on a perspective view here. I want to be, there we go. And I just want to pull that out the same amount as on the other side. That looks about right. Back to the back again. And now I just want the inner 3. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. All right, that looks good. Back on to the side. Pull that out, add on about the same one as the other side. Go to my home view, and that looks pretty good. I turn the plane off. You can see I have a nice chest piece shape there. Okay, so what I have left to do is the main to extrude and then a lathe at the bottom. So I'm going to do those in a separate video.